Welcome to the ninth episode of Inglet Mirror's video series, Know Your Theorist. Today, we deal with an American theorist on whom the New Republic commented that his importance resides mainly in that he is an exemplar of recent academic trends. He chiefly represents himself. He does that quite well. But he may also represent something of the postmodern academic life. Its self-satisfaction, its self-promotion, its glibness, and that is none other than Stanley Fish. Stanley Fish was born in Providence, Rhode Island, and educated at the University of Pennsylvania and Yale University. He received his doctorate in 1962 and soon began teaching at the University of California at Berkeley. He went on to teach at Johns Hopkins University and Duke University, where he was Arts and Sciences Professor of English and Professor of Law. Fish's early professional life was spent teaching medieval and 17th century literature. His first major work, Surprised by Sin, published in 1967, advanced a then unique argument about the reader of Paradise Lost, who is seduced by Milton's language into experiencing Satan's temptation of Adam and Eve. In 1967, the world of Milton studies was divided into two armed camps, one proclaiming that Milton was of the devil's party with or without knowing it, the other proclaiming that the poet's sympathies are obviously with God and the angels loyal to him. The achievement of Stanley Fish Surprised by Sin was to reconcile the two camps by subsuming their claims in a single overarching thesis. Paradise Lost is a poem about how its readers came to be the way they are, that is, fallen. And the poem's lesson is proven on a reader's impulse every time he or she finds a devilish action attractive or a godly action dismaying. Fish's argument reshaped the face of Milton's studies. 30 years later, the issues raised in Surprised by Sin continue to set the agenda and drive debate. Fish's effective stylistics, which stresses the reader's response to a literary text, departed from the formalism of the new critics. His next book, Self-Consuming Artifact, which was published in 1972, overcame some of the limitations of effective stylistics and offered a new theory of interpretive communities, cohorts of readers who agree in principle on a specific set of conventions and strategies. Is There a Text in this class brings together essays from the 1970s along with new material that contrasts his early conceptions of effective stylistics with his later formulations of reader response and interpretive communities. An interpretive community is not a community of people who share a point of view or a set of interests, for example, the community of Star Wars fans. An interpretive community is a community made up of people who by virtue of their education and initiation in practice now have consciousness which are in a sense community specific. They walk around the workplace or their arena of practice and merely by looking out see that arena or workplace already organized in specific ways that are meaningful in ways that can be read. These later texts show the influence of Wolfgang Iser and Roman Garden, who were developing similar projects in Europe at this time. During the 1980s and 90s, Fish turned his attention to matters of law and legal theory, rhetoric, ethics, and the professionalization of literary studies. His interest in pragmatism and logic made him a formidable and often amusing interlocutor. Fish's attacks on postmodernism were eloquent reminders that principles and standards are inevitable in human society, and that the important issue is not protesting their existence, but in constructing smart and tolerable ones. In 1989, Fish published Doing What Comes Naturally, a seminal work in the critical legal studies movement. This was followed by his controversial volume on the First Amendment, There is No Such Thing as Free Speech, and It's a Good Thing Too, which was published in 1994. From the mid-1990s, Fish's career settled into legal studies and administration. He served as Dean of Arts and Sciences at the University of Illinois, Chicago, from 1999 to 2004. In 2005, he joined the faculty of Florida International University College of Law, where he is Davidson Kahn Distinguished University Professor of Humanities and Law. Thank you for watching this video.